Hey everybody, we're going to check out, or I'm going to react to common design mistakes that will ruin your kitchen. And sorry for the angle here, it's a sort of impromptu. I'm sitting in my chair. So let's get to this. I've actually never seen videos from this lady before, but we'll see how it goes.
Over the past few years, I've been noticing a growing trend of upper cabinets completely disappearing in kitchens in favor of airy, minimalistic pared back spaces, often decorated with bold statement stones. While this is beautiful and looks great in photos, it's not always the most practical solution. Sacrificing upper cabinets is fine if you have a large footprint kitchen, but every time I see someone on social media tearing out a huge chunk of what is their only kitchen storage, I cringe. What you don't always necessarily see in the pictures is that they have a ton of extra space, like a butler's pantry or an entire wall of cabinetry just off camera, or even a secondary kitchen altogether where they store all their things. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think it's a terrible mistake to remove upper cabinet storage if you have an already small kitchen. If you ever want to sell your home, most buyers aren't going to appreciate having less storage.
Yeah, I think I pretty much agree with what she's saying. Although it is a trend to remove at least some of the upper cabinets, and I think that can be a really good idea, assuming, again, you have enough storage space. It looks good to have the walls free of cabinets, at least the upper cabinets, but is it practical? Probably not in a lot of cases. But maybe taking one or two cabinets down off the wall to open it up a little bit, that can be a really good idea.
One thing you can do to minimize the look of your upper cabinets is what designer Barbara Salick did in this photo. She painted her uppers the same color as the backsplash, ceiling, and trim, so that the upper cabinetry blends into everything else. And then she painted the lowers a contrasting color, which takes attention away from the uppers.
Yeah, painting or having a brighter sort of neutral color like white on top and kind of matching that with the walls will give it more of an open feel. But you'll also notice, there's no cabinets on either side of the vent hood there. And so this is an example with some of those upper cabinets sort of removed where there could have been cabinets and they decided to leave it more open. In addition to the color, I think that helps to kind of give it that feel.
Bold and trendy backsplashes look fun, fresh, colorful, and contemporary. I love a good bold tile in someone else's kitchen. I'm always very wary of anything too colorful or too trendy when it comes to tiled backsplashes and surfaces. While some may say that redoing a backsplash isn't a big deal, I would actually tend to disagree. For some people, it is a very big deal to do any sort of work in the home. Ripping out a backsplash, tracking down a decent tile person, and paying for a bunch of work isn't something that many people have on the top of their list of things that they want to deal with. I recommend you keep your backsplash tiles classy and timeless.
That is a wild move. Have like river stones as your backsplash. Yeah, I tend to agree in general with what she's saying, but especially in your kitchen. There's a lot going on in your kitchen. You have appliances, cabinets, backsplash, paint, flooring. There could be some interesting things with the ceiling, so I would say, yeah, keep the colors that you choose for the cabinets and the walls and the flooring probably kind of as neutral as you can. Keep not only the resellability of your home, but also to keep your kitchen in style longer, and so you don't have to feel like you want to replace your cabinets sooner. I just try to keep it timeless.
Everybody wants an island because they're great. They provide a multi-purpose space that everyone in the household can use. They use up floor space that could otherwise go to waste. They provide extra storage, more surface for cooking and prepping. There's literally nothing bad you can say about kitchen islands.
I disagree. There are definitely, I agree with what she's saying, but I disagree that there's nothing bad you can say about islands, and I think that may be where she's going with this, but definitely, use caution when you're thinking about redoing an island or installing one that wasn't there before. And also, when you're talking about seating at an island, I was talking with Mark Tobin about this, and it's rare that you sit at an island that you enjoy sitting at. Either you don't have enough leg room, or the bar stool that you're sitting at isn't the right height for the bar. There are very specific things you want to take into consideration when you're thinking about redoing or adding an island.
Deny yourself the pleasure of a comically tiny kitchen island.
Oh,
For example, take this kitchen.
that cannot be real. That is insane. I mean, props to them, though, for knowing their limits. They're like, we need the clearance. At least they have the clearance, and they're thinking about that. I can't believe that. What a nightmare.
The best thing you can do is to use a freestanding island, which is basically a cart on wheels. You can pull it out when you need it and push it away when you don't.
That's assuming you have a space to push it away to. Some of those small kitchens, I wouldn't even recommend that. But it is a good idea for when you do have a little spot you can tuck it away in.
Time for some trash talk. A bin of literal trash out in the open is not cute. My unsolicited advice is to store it under your sink.
Mostly agree. I don't know about storing under your sink. It depends on how big your sink is and how much space you have, I suppose. But I think it would be kind of annoying. I've seen people do that, but it's not the most convenient place. I do like these double trash can pullouts. They're really great additions. Again, though, it depends on how much space you have. If you have enough space to add this and you can still store everything you need to, great. I think most kitchens probably can. But if it's a little bit smaller kitchen, or if you just have a lot of appliances or something, yeah, sometimes it just doesn't fit.
Now, when it comes to compost bins, while researching for this video, I was astonished to see how many people keep an open compost on their counters. Sure, they say they empty it daily, but still, I recommend you stick your compost in the freezer or stash it in a sealed container.
Who is doing compost? I know people do it. Growing up, my dad had a compost pile that we were supposedly doing. I don't think it really ever worked. I've never heard of these people that compost in their kitchen in a bin. That does not sound like a good idea.
Under the sink. Now, if you're a fan of freestanding garbage bins or counter composting, I'm genuinely curious. Please tell me why you think it's better, because I would sincerely love to know. For me, this is one of those cases where form wins over function. Sure, it may be more functional to have it out, but I also don't want to be looking at a garbage bin every time I walk into the kitchen.
I don't know. The garbage bin she had in this example looks fine, and it has a lid. I think that's fine. I don't see the problem with having a garbage bin out, especially these that she's looking at here that she has pictured. They both have lids. You don't even have to touch the lid with your hand, at least with the trash can on the left. So,
when it comes to kitchen flooring, there's this common idea that tile is the only way to go because it's tough and water resistant. So you end up seeing a lot of situations like this, where you've got these transitions. I'm saying you should use tiles in your kitchen because you want to and not because you feel you have to. As a general tip, if you're picking floors for your home, try to keep your choices to 2 or at most 3. This will really help to create a more cohesive and harmonious design throughout your space.
One thing about tile is if you lay down tile, it is really tough to get it up. Not tough in the sense that you can't do it, but it's just a lot of work. And so if you ever want to replace it, which you eventually will, I like tile. It is definitely very durable and has a lot of benefits, but it is a pain to pull up, so it could be expensive. in the future. So again, nothing against tile, but the transitions she was showing, I see what she's saying there too, but I think using other flooring options that are easier to pull up and change out later, that's a benefit for sure.
If you're remodeling your kitchen or doing a new build, I would definitely recommend considering paneled appliances. Paneled or integrated appliances refer to kitchen appliances such as fridges and dishwashers that are designed to blend seamlessly with the surrounding cabinetry. It hides unsightly gaps and keeps everything flush with the cabinetry. So,
I think I'm disagreeing with her on this one. Paneled appliances look great, but it's more of a European style, and it's definitely done here in the States. It's not that it's exclusive to there, but it's just not as popular, at least where I'm at in the Dallas area. It's not as popular. I am at the beginning stages of a job where they are ordering paneled appliances, so we're doing that. But you have to keep in mind, everything costs something, right? Whether it be time, money, stress, headache, more opportunities for the install to go wrong, So I just think, nothing against paneled appliances, but it is a very specific look. I don't think it's a general broad stroke, at least in my area, to say that's just a generic recommendation to go with paneled if you're redoing your kitchen. I definitely disagree. And then this comparison picture here, I don't know. I don't know that that's a great place for a paneled appliance right there. At least with the cabinets they have, I don't see that looking good. So she chose a picture in particular that's not very flattering where the fridge is in general, but I don't know. I'm not with her on this one.
And how she and her husband Mike converted their discounted, dinged-up Whirlpool fridge and freezer into a stunning paneled appliance. She also did the same thing with her dishwasher. Full disclosure, I have not done this personally myself, although I may or may not be roping my husband into helping me do this soon. So if you want the paneled appliance look at a fraction of the cost, definitely go check out the Merry Thought. And don't forget to give them a like and a follow.
No, she is... I think that's a bold statement that she's making to say that it's just better design. I think it's a total taste thing. If you like it, if it's your flavor, do it. If not, don't worry about it. It's a lot more expensive to buy paneled appliances, and just like she said, and I guess there's a way to convert your normal fridge to a paneled appliance, but if you're not handy with that type of stuff, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of opportunity for you to have one of those kind of nailed it things that you see from Pinterest. It's like nailed it. It looks nothing like the Pinterest photo because it's just not easy, It's going to be some trial and error and cutting things perfectly so it lines up and there's not any weird gaps or things aren't off center or crooked or whatever. I just think, not saying I'm against it, I'm just saying it's not a blanket recommendation by any means.
When it comes to faucets, I think if you're doing a quick refresh or you're on a really tight budget, then sure, go for a budget Amazon faucet. But if you're doing a serious kitchen reno, then you're going to want to invest in a high quality faucet. One of the biggest injustices you can do to your fresh, new, beautiful kitchen is to install a super basic builder-grade faucet. What you should do is take the time to find a faucet that not only functions well, but also adds to the overall aesthetic of your kitchen.
I think she does have a point there. You do want to put some thought into your faucet. And it is true that cheaper faucets will give you problems, especially those that kind of pull down and they have the counterweight underneath the sink. The cheaper ones wear out a lot quicker and they end up just never getting pulled right back up, and you can adjust them and fix them to make them work again, but they just seem to go out quick even after you adjust it, and they mess up again pretty quickly. There is some truth to that, but faucets can get extremely expensive. one thing you do want to do your research, get a good brand. I'm not an expert on faucets or good brands, otherwise I would recommend something, but you definitely want to know which faucet you're getting before the countertop goes in, because they have to cut the holes for that. And if you end up just throwing a faucet in just for now and you'll replace it later, your options are limited at that point, because the holes, especially if you have a stone countertop, the holes are now there and you're not going to be able to patch those holes really. So you'll have to use a faucet that kind of matches the holes that are already there. It's definitely something to think about. Not the end of the world. You can usually find something that will fit the holes already cut into your counter, but you're just going to have limited options. So that was reaction to common design mistakes that will ruin your kitchen. Let me see here. What was her channel? Vivien Albrecht. If that's how you say that. Cool. Well, that was a good video. I definitely think she had really good points, most of it. Definitely disagreed on a couple things, but that was fun. All right. So let me know if you like this type of content. It's really easy to make and fun, so I'll do more, probably whether you like it or not, but I'll try to listen to whatever you guys would like to hear more about or questions.